Awesome. I really like that you mentioned all that, Kevin, because it's kind of what I'm talking about today. And I really don't have a lot to talk about it because I wanted to it's something I struggle a lot with. And I feel like a lot of other coaches do too. But it's steering away from ranks and success club because I feel like when I started this business, it was just drilled into my head. Like you do whatever it takes to push for certain ranks that you want, hit success club 10 every month, all of that stuff. And it really wasn't, the basic stuff wasn't really drilled into my head more so than the, ranks and success club. And I feel like now that I'm, higher, or my business has, grown so much more, that I focus on those things, and I'm kind of doing the same thing to my coaches and drilling rank and success club and all that stuff. And it matters, but it really doesn't, because I feel like it's actually scaring people away. I sign up coaches and I feel like then they immediately cancel like within the next couple of days, because I feel like maybe they are just being, overwhelmed with all this stuff that we're talking about within our groups. So I just want to kind of talk about going back to the basics and not worrying so much about the ranks and success club and all that fancy stuff. And what I've started to do so far is like our leadership boards, the monthly success club boards, I've been making it more about helping people. So I call it our helping board every month. And I just praise people for how many people they're helping. I don't, praise them for hitting success club 5 or 10 or whatever. I praise them for helping one person, helping 2 people, whatever it may be. They're helping at least one person. And I've been trying to tell people, like, who cares if you haven't, hit success club 5? You helped one person this month. Like, that is huge. You helped one person. So I've been trying to focus on that. And I kind of just wanted to see what you guys do, if you do anything, or maybe we can come up with different ways to kind of go back to the basics, because I feel like, once you do hit diamond, we obviously do have to focus on, growing more in the business. And obviously that has to do with, our ranks and hitting success club and all of that. But maybe kind of some things we can come up with that we can keep that separate from our newer coaches, and I don't know, all of that. So that's really all that I have for my presentation, and maybe we can just open it up and talk about that.
Hey, Ashley.
Yes.
I don't want to take credit for this idea. I learned it from maybe, I don't know, a few months back on National Wake Up Call. But she called it the Daily Life Changers Club. And I really like that because, as you said, Ashley, it brought the focus on helping people and not points. So what I do now, instead of a Success Club tracking log on my team page, it's called the Daily Life Changers Club. And it's just every month I change it. And what we need to do is people. So if I helped one person, that's what they're putting down. Julie Miller, one person equals 2. So the points are there, but the focus is on the people. But they can't fill that tracking log. They can't put that how many people they helped until they go under comments and share what they did. So people who are struggling, it's a constant feed of ideas that are given to people.
I love that.
And if you guys listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday, I absolutely loved her idea when she said that for new coaches, she puts them in a challenge group to start working on the challenge pack that they bought on their health. And then she gives them assignments, after about a week of them kind of getting into it, she gives them assignments to start sharing about it, on social media with pictures and stuff. So she's teaching them almost like a back way, but they're working on their health. So they start to develop that story to tell. I thought that was like amazing.
Julie, we used to do that.
What?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
My team. Where when our Coach Basics was actually a 3-week challenge group. And we would run it like a 21-day fix group. And the first week was just focused on them doing all of their stuff, getting their daily stuff down. And then we would talk about sharing it and how to share it and where to share it and who to talk to. And it worked out really, really well. We called it, what did we call it? I'll have to look. I forget. But it was just like a basic challenge group but it was geared more towards coaches. So they were doing, you know, some of them were doing a 21-day fix. Didn't matter what program, it was just a 21-day group.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea. And you could even give people like prizes so they can start getting some wear and shares for people who post the most, whatever. We can go crazy. I started like going with these ideas with my leaders last night. So we're going to try to implement that for our coach training next month.
We do that too. I was showing, I think I was showing Kevin my kind of system now where I was the same way as you, Ashley. It was like very business focused, very like hustle and like, this is your business, own your business type stuff. And it definitely turned people away. So I had kind of a lull over the last couple months. I've really kind of or maybe even the last month really shifted gears where any coach that signs on with me, they don't get into that coach basics until they're at least 2 weeks into their program. So I have my whiteboard up above me here, and basically I use these little tabs. Did I already show you this? I've shown a bunch of groups this stuff, but I basically have all these tabs, and they start here in this challenge group, and they're orange if they're a customer, and they're blue if they're enrolled as a coach. And then once they get through a couple weeks in their challenge group, I'm inviting them to say, are you ready to go into a coach training? And then they're in their coach training group, and then they move along. But they're not getting there until they have at least a couple weeks experience in the challenge group, because I want them to drink Shakeology. I want them to understand the program, because then my really basic 5-day coach training is just on those business basics, challenge groups, social media, how to share, rank, the vital behaviors, and how to earn. And it's just those 5 things. And then they go into a coach training group, coach to leader group, which is in the works right now. But it's really just keeping things really simple and really, like you said, back to basics of challenge group first, challengers first, get results, understand the program, like speak to it, because how are you going to share something that you're like, you don't know anything about? You haven't even like pressed play on a workout yet. You haven't even gotten your kit and you're starting to coach. So I really encourage them to do that. And it kind of stinks at times because I have this brand new coach who is ready to rock. She's like a fitness trainer. She's doing awesome, but I'm the one pumping the brakes. Like, you're not in coach basics until, December 4th. Don't worry about that. Just focus on your program in Shakeology. And so that's hard because I had like a month of like no active new coaches because I really kind of just started fresh and getting all those people going, but it's been helpful. Another thing I do in my team page, you all have probably heard of it. It's that ring the bell system where there's a post in my page where you're ringing the bell no matter what, even if it's not a challenge pack. If you're getting someone on board with a boost, if you're getting somebody a new fitness program, if you're sending, whatever it may be, you're sharing something, you're ringing the bell in the group. So people are writing like, no Success Club points, but da 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 da. And then, like you guys said, they share how they connected with that person, and was it a follow-up, was it a new invite, etc. So that constant feed, like Julie said, is kind of there so people can get ideas of who to reach out to.
Hey, Annalisa, I have heard of the bell thing. I'm sorry, jump in again. And I totally understand what people need to do to ring that bell, but how do you literally ring the bell? Like, what do you do?
You don't. It's just a picture. Like, I change the bell every month, so it's kind of like monthly themed. So this month is like a boxing bell, and you just write underneath it, ring. Da, da, da,
is it like a pin post or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine's not even pinned actually, because we have something else that's pinned. Our team calendar is pinned.
So they just look for the bell post.
Yeah, and if it gets too far down in the feed, that's where I say like, hey, where's everyone at? Like, this bell went like way down, so every day it should stay pretty active in there. But yeah, it's just a post and they write ring on it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that. For the challenge groups, so I normally put my new coaches into my normal monthly challenge groups. So do you guys do something where it's separate, or do you do the same thing like that and then throw them into a training later on?
One idea that I heard that I thought was really cool was some coaches do like a week-long coach challenge group, and they have them all like, if it's Motivation Monday, they have them like their challenges to talk about that. So they all have to share their post in the challenge group. So it's like kind of like a coach boot camp, but it's challenge group focused. So like, what are the assignments that they normally do during a challenge group, but having them kind of put a coaching twist on it. So like talking about the benefits of Shakeology and like getting them used to posting about the benefits of Shakeology. So it's not as much like coaching per se, but it's what things we do to add value as a coach on our newsfeed that aren't like specifically coachy. So all the new coaches for the team are in there and they're posting their Facebook posts or Instagram posts in the group to give examples of like how they would talk about how important Shakeology is, or how they talk about how awesome the challenge group is, or one of their challengers losing weight. So to give each other ideas of like how to make a post that comes across like as a coach, but that's the challenge group. So it's like being part of the challenge, but it's like a coach challenge group. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
We did something this with the Quarter Force launch in my uplines team. So she basically has an entire challenge group for all the coaches who committed 100% to this test group, or we called it a launch group, where you're like signing a contract, you're getting in there. And so it's just coaches, but it really brings back to basics, like coaches being proof the product work. And I mean, it's just like booming. So one tip, like for January, is like get your whole team to commit to one program together, whether that's Quarter Force or whether it's like a 21-day fix, and just be like, we're doing this together in a coach group, and then opening up like a team challenge group together. So you're all kind of on the same page and everyone's kind of coaching together and contributing and can share that in the challenge group. It's been really helpful to have both.
Nice, yeah.
Let's, Denise, Sarah, any thoughts that you guys have as far as what's worked for you, what you've heard has worked?
I try to tell them to like understand it as you're an intern coach that first month, and kind of have them, go through the challenge group just as if they were a challenger. And then also along with the trainings, but I kind of like the idea of like maybe just doing the intern coach thing. Kind of like, was it Annalisa who was saying that? Just to kind of back off a little bit of the training. What I started to do with kind of like the Team Beachbody Team Spirit was like posting each day. There was like a kind of like a challenge group, like daily post, but I did that in my team page. So I think I'm going to do that for next month too. So it's almost like in my team, there's another challenge, but it just gives ideas on posting. So maybe that might be like something I might more so implement. So coaches, especially new coaches, like maybe their first month, they're just in a challenge group, but then they're also in my team page with a daily assignment to post. Oh, hey, today was a sweaty selfie. You need to post on your regular page, and we still do call to actions like on Mondays or Thursdays, which is like an invite, but maybe I'll team up with them and like have them give them ideas and stuff. But I think that's been going well, and it kind of helps the newer coaches. I don't know. But then I also see like they're backing off on their training because they're in two groups that are like active, and I don't know. I don't really want to put them in like a third group where it's like, oh, and then do this on top of it. So, but yeah, that's kind of where it kind of helps, but also I don't want to overwhelm them. So I kind of wanted to hear from you guys. Do you have them start trainings like they're then inviting like after a month, or how soon? I just want to ask that, like how quickly are your new coaches then inviting to the coach opportunity or inviting to challenge groups?
I think it goes back to the new idea that it looks like everyone's kind of doing that was shared on National Wake Up Call. Mm-hmm. And that is getting your new coaches to do the products first so they have something to share and invite to, or you know what I mean? One thing too that we have to remember as coaches, and I always try to remind myself and my coaches, is we know how to post. We're comfortable with posting our selfie, our sweaty pics, and doing videos. Our new coaches might run away, so allowing them to go ahead and have an option to post on the team page where it's a safe haven until they get comfortable with that, and then go in, encourage them in their personal page.
I think that way too. Like as far as like I'm running the Coach Basics for my team, and so many of them, I mean, a lot of these coaches I'm finding they're coming out of our challenge groups. That's why they're signing up as coaches. They're kind of having this transformation and they're realizing that they want to do it. But even in the Coach Basics, like they are so nervous to do a video and just to even post. I was like kind of surprised. I'm like, it's just a video and it's just us. But having that comfort of just that smaller group is getting them more comfortable to do it on their own pages. But I don't like to overwhelm them with a lot of groups either. That's the problem. Like putting them in a coach group and then putting them in this other, I think they just get too crazy about all the groups. So we try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I totally agree, Denise. Even I feel like I still feel like a brand new coach because this lifestyle is different. I was uncomfortable getting on a Zoom call first, and those things which now is like secondary. I'm used to staring at myself talking in the computer screen. That just wasn't normal back then. I'm like, the funny story is my parents like to stay in touch with, there's 4 kids, and we kind of every now and then we'll, like on Sunday nights or whatever, so we'll do like a Google Chats or a Skype call or whatever, and we're all supposed to get on and chat. And I'm always the one going like this, like, like I don't want to stare at myself as we're all talking. That's just how I am. But I've gotten used to it. But we do need to understand and give leeway to these brand new people who we're saying, okay, race that go, and they're like, huh? I don't know, no, this is not what I'm used to. We have to have that compassion. We have to have that understanding. But if we have systems in place where we start them at that level, and then we have systems in place that get them to that comfortable level, and once they're there, keep moving up, then we can say, I totally get where you're coming from. You know what? I actually have something in place that will help you become more comfortable with it if you just follow these steps, whatever it may be. Also with this, I think I've mentioned it probably on every call that I'm on with you guys, but I can't stress it enough. These expectations and assumptions that brand new clients have to be addressed and have to be tackled, or else they're going to quit. If you may put out there, you may say, look, my brand is out there, they know what they're getting into. You have one thing, they hear a different thing. And so make sure when you talk to brand new coaches that you level the playing field, that you let them talk about what they want out of this experience. And hopefully your brand is so much that it's, I want to improve my health, I want to improve my looks, I want to be more healthy, I want to be able to play with my kids. It's all bettering themselves rather than business oriented if we're putting the right message out there. And then when we go through this vital process of getting clients started and then getting them results, and now they're ready to start coaching, we have that conversation again of, okay, you're ready to start inviting people to the opportunity. Let's talk about what your expectations are. Let's talk about what you're assuming you're going to be making financially, and how much work you're going to be able to put into it. Because if you can see where they're at, you can meet them where they're at, and then you can grow together. But if you just throw them in and say, look, here's some trainings, ready, set, go, you have no idea where they're at. And you're just assuming that they're ready to go, and they're assuming that they're not ready to go, and then people quit. You will see this in 2017. Retention is key. And I'm not talking just sticking around, but I'm talking active Shakeology retention. I don't know if we focus enough on Shakeology retention. It is the one thing that will keep your business alive and flourishing. It's called the crossover effect. And I'm going to create this training on it, but pretty much if all we're focused on is challenge pack sales, retail sales, short-term success, you will see a lot of financial success in that area. You will. But you're putting in so much work to get those retail sales. You're putting in so much work to see that those numbers go up. And that's not why you joined the business. You quit your jobs. You stopped working because you didn't want to work as hard. But if you can get people converted to Shakeology for life, it's called the crossover, where the sales, retail sales and Shakeology sales are down here. The commissions you're receiving, and then magically it's residual income. You're just going to, by multiple folds, earn more money because you have people on Shakeology every single month than you are on the challenge pack sales that you'll be having. Short term, it's not that way. But we're not a short-term company. We're a long-term company. And if you can get people on Shakeology and get them converted and stay on Shakeology, I can guarantee you will make, I don't know the amount, but X amount of times more money than you could on just challenge pack sales. It's called residual income, passive income. It's what drives, you'll be sitting on a beach and you'll be just raking in there because you've done all the work at the time, and people are on Shakeology for life. So those are my key things. I'm sorry I take over these calls. I don't mean to. Sorry, Ash, I'll turn it back to you.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
If you want some input on retention, I'd be happy to share with you what I'm doing with my coaches. I think right now I'm at 27 PS coaches between my husband's business and my 2 business centers, and 24 of them are all active. And that's between discount buyers and coaches. But there's a lot of stuff I do ongoingly, consistently, to keep my retention in the business.
I love that. You know what? We do have an open spot on our calls. If you could insert your name there. Guys, I'm not going to be spilling any beans here, but I can promise you guys, focus on Shakeology sales. Focus on Shakeology retention. I promise you that's where you want to go, because if you can do that, you'll be a happy person in 2017 and beyond. So yes, Julie, that would be phenomenal.
Okay.
Getting back to a little bit what we were talking about with the call, one thing that I think I want to start doing more of is rewarding challengers for posting on their public, like on their personal page about the challenge group. So like if they drink their Shakeology in the morning and they tag me, like for December, I want to do like a point system that they get a point if they tag me on their personal page, drinking their Shakeology, doing their workout, doing their study selfies. So trying to get them to do coaching habits before they're even like thinking about doing it. But like showing them kind of the inside scoop about what's going on in the challenge group, and giving them incentives for doing it. So that was something I was thinking about doing for December, because then it's, it makes your page look more fun because people are tagging you and showing, saying that they're doing their workout or that they're participating in a challenge group, and trying to give them incentives for doing it. So they're doing the coach activities before they even are thinking about coaching.
Yeah, that's true.
This is sort of, we talked about it, but sort of tangential, but I had a call last night with my coach, my team, and someone hosted, and it was on fears, and she was asking the team to talk about what their fears are, and it's really amazing. Like if we can do like what you guys are talking about of, getting people into this practice without it being really scary for them when they join as a coach, and it's like, now you have to post. People were afraid of like, bigger things like going live was a big fear. Someone was afraid of sending their posts to their upline because of fear of like criticism or like she was doing it wrong. And it's like, oh my God, those are the things like I'm encouraging people to do. And I didn't know that it was like this big scary thing for coaches to do. So I really think the idea of encouraging challengers to step out of their comfort zone early, that way when they do transition to coaching, some of those things are getting a little easier. Because I know now I actually struggled to come up with some of the fears for my thing, because I've been doing this for 3 years now. Like there's not too many things that scare me on social media, or my things are bigger, like fear of having a team plummet, like whatever it may be. But so I know that with practice, those fears obviously subside, but I love the idea of sprinkling in or breadcrumbing these things that can be like the big scary thing when they start coaching. They've already sort of started that in their challenge groups or in their news feed, just for tagging you, like Laura was saying, for prizes or something. It might just kind of warm them up to the idea.
I did want to mention one thing, because you guys were talking about it for the groups, not having so many groups. Recently, I started creating step-by-step groups, or not groups, step-by-step links of training. Let me just share it with you guys real quick. It might be easier to share it before this call ends. Find it. But that way they kind of just tell me where they're at and if they're ready to go on to the next step too for coaches. Here we go. So the first one I have is for a brand new coach. And they just click next on everything. It's just little things like welcome them to the team. think you have to put a name in before you click next. And then just little things like setting their direct deposit up, just like little things, little videos on how to go through the Team Beachbody website, their Coach Online office, little things like that. And that way it's just something small, a link you send to them, and it's not a huge group. And then they do it at their own pace. And then when they're ready to go on to the next one, you send them the next one. So that might work too. It's been working for me so far anyways.
Was that on a Google form, or what website was that?
Yeah, I did it on Google Forms.
Okay. That looked amazing.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
That was just Google Forms?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was really easy to make.
I don't know how to do any of that.
YouTube on how to do things.
Oh, I know.
Actually,
Sorry.
oh, where'd you go?
I was just gonna say I like that too, and I have a it's not as nice and organized as yours, but I do have that self-paced training where coaches are able to go in, and it's just my own personalized version of the trainings that are in the back end office, like level 1, like coach training, emerald training, Ruby, whatever. I just kind of made it my own, but they have access to all those links, and it's in the if you click the banner on my team page, you can access those things there. So I do tell coaches, like, if you are like chomping at the bit to like start looking at these things, you can access it there. Or if like, they did a coach basics training a month ago and they need some refreshers, it is there for them. Because I do like that self-paced thing where they don't get added to another group, or it's not 10 different groups in December because a lot of coaches are like, I had a coach leave the team page the other day and I tried to tag her. I'm like, did you leave the team page? Because she was brand new. And she's like, I was so overwhelmed with notifications from this challenge group, that. I'm like, get back in that group and turn off the notifications on everything else because this one's important. But they do get overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, self-pace has been amazing for us too. We definitely changed that over about 2 months ago like that. And it just really helps people not feel stupid or not assume that someone knows more than somebody else because they look like they're posting every day and reading everything, but another person feels lost. It just allows them just to learn at their own pace. I think that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, good. Any other final thoughts? This has been really good as far as sharing ideas. I think what gives me comfort is I think we're all at the same level now. I feel like we're all at a good spot where one person really isn't that much further above than anywhere else, but we are focusing on the right things of getting people started the right way. And whether that means as a brand new challenger or as a coach, we get them started so that they can stick around. I mean, that's the whole purpose, once again, of this business is we want people to get their results. We want them to see a transformation. We want them to hit their goals so that they can feel good about themselves. But those that want to start actively coaching, we want them to get results as well. And so this is phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed this group. You guys are some of my top coaches. I'm excited for 2017. I'm excited for Elite Premier to be over because I feel like all of my calls right now are like, here are your numbers, and we're just not really engaging. So I want to get back to that idea of planning. I want to get to that idea of let's put together a phenomenal year so that because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You guys got me for 2017 definitely, and I want to make sure that I talk to each of you and put together a plan so that it becomes a successful year. I think if your goal for 2017 is I'm going to try harder. I know that's an obvious dumb goal, but if that's what we say, well, you're going to get the same results because that's what. If you continue to do what you're doing, you're getting the results that you've continued to get. Something has to change. Something has to be tweaked. I'm not talking about full-fledged reinventing the wheel. I think most of us are in the right zone. We just need to tweak a little bit more of what we need to do to how we invite people. First of all, how we attract people, how we invite people, how we connect with them, how we retain them, how we train them, all of that kind of stuff. And so hopefully you are putting lots of time into and thought into that. I know it's not the fun part of business, but it's the part of business that needs to happen you sit down and you brain dump onto paper, and you have to go through this process of, okay, in 2016, if I were to look back, this didn't work as well as I thought, but I like the idea, so how can I tweak it? And then talk it out with me. That's what I'm here to do, is talk it out with me, and then together I think we can come up with a phenomenal plan. I've done it once or twice already with some coaches who aren't in premier or elite contention, so I'm having these conversations and they've been really good. And so I'm looking forward to a strong 2017. So thank you, Ashley, for starting this call off. Wonderful. Thank you for everybody for sharing. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye.